People to Jesus and one another. I would love to talk through the full span of student care here. We are on staff as the middle school team. The people with signs, those are leaders that are volunteering their time to be with us at camp, which can you just give them that? That's great, yeah. They're awesome. They're gonna get all sorts of cheers later on when you meet them. And then we also have a security team that is joining us at Country Lake, and we have a care team. And then we even have people that work full-time at Country Lake, and all of us together are saying we want to make this an incredible week for middle school students because we want them to be connected to Jesus and to one another. And one of the things that I care the most about that I would love to inform you as parents coming in is just how much I care about safety. And that is my number one priority is your student safety, because if you don't think that we are a safe ministry, you're not sending your kid anywhere. And I care a lot about that. So we spend a lot of hours investing in our leaders. We do Ministry Safe. We train them through that. We have background checks. We're going to continue to have training right after the parents are done. Literally, the leaders are going to be here for a few hours because we have additional training. We interview every single one of them, and then we go through just knowing how to keep people safe physically, emotionally, spiritually, and we really emphasize that. And so that's just a quick glimpse into our ministry, and then we're going to jump into some other parts of camp.
Yeah, let's talk about things you need to know before camp. So some ways that you can go ahead and connect right now is by texting Pray for Camp to 733-733. That will set you up to receive daily prayer prompts each day of camp, so you know how to be praying for your student and what's going on at camp that day. We also, if you are not connected to our church and want to learn more about it, in your folder there is a card that says Starting Point, and it's got information about a class that we do that lets you know all about our church, ways to be involved, what we believe, what we're all about, and we would love for you to check it out. And then also, please scan the dashboard. That will have all the information that you need. That is where we're going to update information. So if we have real-time updates, we're going to be putting it up there. It has the packing list. It has a lot of things. So if you are going to lose your packet, most of that information, if not all of it, is on the dashboard.
We should pause right now.
Let them scan it.
Yep, because I'm getting... Oh, do you need us to move?
Do
I need to move? Should I duck?
I'm just going to move.
Hey, as you guys are scanning that, just in your packet, I forgot to mention this, but there is a whole bunch of papers, but we tried to organize it the best way possible so that you can see things that are helpful for check-in and departure, and then even preparing for camp, and then just some miscellaneous information. So if you're one of those people that pulled everything out of your packet and you just started rearranging it, sorry. But it's in a nice order right there. Is everyone scanned? We good to go?
Great. I think we are.
Awesome. Well, guys, we are going to talk about the packing list in 1 second, but we're going to talk about something even more exciting than the packing list. We do theme nights at middle school camp, and it is something all of our students just love. So, yeah, I love those hoot and hollers. So Friday is neon night. So your brightest clothes possible, you want them there. At high school camp, I had an orange wig on. It's coming back for middle school camp. For those students in the room, I will have an orange wig on. And then Saturday night is USA. So you want to bring all your USA themed. 4th of July just happened. Wash it. Be ready to wear it. And then we have camp t-shirt Sunday. So the students will get their camp t-shirt at camp. And so we will give it to them, and they'll come home in it. And we get a great picture, all of us at middle school camp. And then we all come home matching. How fun is that?
It's like a giant trip to Disney World.
Yeah.
I think all of us coming back.
Family trip.
Man, if only we personalized every shirt with their names, that'd be crazy. We're not doing that. But we are gonna now go to the packing list. So this is what you've been waiting for. So for the packing list, your students need 4 days of clothing. 4 days of clothing that hopefully they're gonna change their clothes every day and not smell terrible. But they're also, we may have rain, we may not, so you want to pack a light rain jacket. Toiletries, toothbrush. Make sure your students pack their toothbrush, please.
And deodorant, please.
Yes.
Not Axe body spray. Real deodorant.
And then a modest swimsuit. We do have a lake there, and so they'll be able to swim. Shower towel and beach towel. They want 2 different towels. I made that mistake once. I will never make that mistake again. Bring 2 different towels. Games that they can play with their small group. A reusable water bottle. They'll be able to fill up their water bottle. We won't have extra water bottles just laying around, so make sure they bring a reusable water bottle. Snacks. Bring all the snacks. Snacks to share. The only thing we ask that you don't pack in the snacks is peanuts or tree nuts. We have a lot of students who have a peanut or tree nut allergy, and we want to keep everyone safe. So help us help everyone. Don't pack tree nuts or peanuts. Bible, pen, and journal. We want them to have all of that for their week at camp. Most importantly, their Bible. If your student doesn't have a Bible, on the dashboard, we have recommended Bibles for you to purchase for your student. If you can't purchase one for your student, please come find us after. We would love to help you be able to have a good Bible for their week at camp. So we would love to help you purchase that. And then twin size bedding, that's what they need. It's extra large twin size, so just be aware of that as you're packing. Sunscreen, bug spray. You want bug spray, definitely. And then we have a snack shack at camp, and it is cash only. So it does not take card, cash only for the snack shack at Country Lake. Now we're going to be talking about CIY merchandise, where they can buy cool shirts, journals, and all that fun stuff. They take card and cash for that. But also, in your packets, you will see a piece of paper that says you can order ahead. So you can pick it out and order ahead for your student, and they can pick it up at camp. And you can pick which day you want them to pick it up. It is super helpful, especially if you don't want to give your student a card. You can go ahead and purchase it before. But that merchandise shop does take cash as well. So if you only want to send cash, that works too. And so Laura is going to be talking to us a little bit about the dress code and what to pack and how to pack.
Real fast.
Yes.
Just because I know this, you guys, I want you to have the spiritual gift of permanent markers right now, because your kids have a spiritual gift of losing stuff. And so on every single thing that you're packing,
That's good.
on the rain jacket, you should write their first and last name. On their water bottle, that they will lose 7 times. And then they will go to the lost and found, and everyone and their brother has a Stanley. You will write their first and last name, or an Owala, or something like that.
The boys will have the Gatorade bottles.
Yeah, the Gatorade bottles.
Yeah, so you can spray.
Yeah, if you don't write their name on it, I just put them in my personal home.
It's true.
It's not a
He
joke.
collects them.
It's-
It's not a joke.
they lose it, I use it.
All right, so as we are talking about what to pack, we do need to talk about dress code. We realize that we live in this tension of being welcoming to students, but we also want to make sure that they are living and dressing in a God-honoring way. And so for the girls, we're asking them to make sure the 4 B's are covered. That is belly, bust, bra strap, and bottom. So we want to make sure swimsuits are covering all of those. We want to make sure their shirts, their shorts, everything they're packing is covering all 4 of those. And that is listed in your all's packets. But we just want to make sure that they are honoring themselves as well as honoring those around them. And so you guys can help us a ton by having them try clothes on ahead of time, talking about it. Hey, we're going to a church camp. We're going to be modest, and maybe helping them adjust some of their outfits.
Yes, as a male, please pay attention to the 3 B's. You can figure which one I'm leaving out. But we still want our guys to walk around, like even when they're done swimming, to not just walk around camp with their shirt off. And they're like, look at me, I'm 12 years old and have awesome muscles. We don't want them to draw attention to themselves in this. And we think that it is way more helpful to have very clear boundaries, even ones that they might disagree with, than to have unclear boundaries and they come in and they go, well, I'm confused about who's saying what, and it's just, hey, here's the boundary, let's stick to that, and then it makes it more clear, and clear is kind.
Yep. Okay, we're moving on. Something else you're probably packing if your student takes meds is going to be their medicine. And so we ask that you bring a 4-day supply in their original containers, and that all of that is going to be entered online, which in your packet there is a paper that says medicine upload. You can scan it and go right in to do that. If they've gone to something recently, they might already have their meds in there, and you just need to make some updates in it. Once you do that, once you get to check-in, you're going to hand over your students' medications to the nurses. They're going to get that checked in, and they will make sure that your student is taking it at whatever time of day they need. Now, if they need an inhaler or an EpiPen or other life-saving device, if you've got 2, please send 2. We want the nurses to have 1 for when they lose it, but we also recognize they might need to keep it on their person, and so let's send them a second one that they can keep with them. Yeah, I think the medication upload is on the next page. You're looking for this piece of paper in your packet. You can scan that code and upload it.
If you are looking at and keeping track, we are at 4 QR codes so far.
It is a
So
lot.
just keep, but hopefully that takes you right to the link instead of you having to type it in. It's
The-
really important to upload these things.
The nice thing is, it's all on the dashboard.
Yes,
So if you only get 1 QR code, get that one.
go to the dashboard. Medication, you'll be turning this in at departure, and I would love to walk through what departure looks like. Who has gone to middle school camp before? Awesome. And so you guys should be experts on what departure looks like. Erase everything from your memory. Because this year there is a conference that is happening at the same time as departure, at the same time as the launch of At the Movies. And so we are reworking and restructuring all of departure, and it's going to be so amazing that we won't use it again next year. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so good. And so just so you know, if you're coming in and you're like, oh, I need to park over here and come through the portico because it says welcome and that makes sense, don't do that this year. Follow the maps, pay attention to what we are doing with all these maps. Okay, so on July 23rd, we're trying to make this super simple because some other things might be complicated. Wave 1, if you have a girl that is going to camp, Zach Martin, one of our high school leaders, just raised his hand in the back, and so I'm going to call him out on that. Funny joke, you don't have a girl going to camp. You will show up at 2 p.m. All girls, you are on wave 1. That's it. All girls, wave 1, 2 p.m. All boys show up at 2:45 p.m., and that is wave 2. Where are you showing up to? There is a map that is right here in your packet, and so keep this map handy, and this has the correct entrance to come into on our property, which is entrance number 2, whether you're coming from Blankenbaker or Waterston Trail. Again, if you've grown up coming to Southeast and you go, oh, I know a back way in so that I can avoid the traffic, it will not turn out good for you that day. I'm telling you right now, do
Don't
not
do
go
it.
the back way. Go into entrance 2. Why? Because there is a conference that is happening at the same time, and you will be so frustrated with departure. Just go into entrance 2 and park in lot D. Then you are going to just follow the orange signs. We're going to have lots of people out there. You will follow the herd of cattle that is going in. That is all of us. We are all coming in saying, come this way and go into door 15.
Door 15.
Door 15 is the door that you are looking at.
Did you just call us all cattle?
I tried to move on fast.
Okay.
And then I did not make eye contact with my wife. She's like, what are you doing?
I got you, Sarah. I called him out.
Don't look at her. Door 15 is the door that you're looking for. And that's, start here. Look at this map. Once you get to door 15, once you come into entrance 2 and parking lot D, everyone else will point you the correct way that you need to go. I could give you a ton of details. You would be bored, and you don't want this meeting to take 3 hours. So here's some very important things that you do need to know about departure. Check-in, you will get wristbands to go onto the luggage and onto a wrist. And then luggage, you will actually drop this off first, and then you will take medication and go and drop off medication. Why am I pausing and saying, and then like that? Because if you put your medication into the luggage and put that on the box, the next station you'll go to and you'll say, oh shoot, my medication is in my luggage. So please pack your medication in another bag that can be easily dropped off and carry that separately, because all of that medication needs to be checked in to go with our nurses to make sure that it is distributed properly while at camp. And then after that, we will have a departure lounge, and the students, they'll say goodbye to you guys. Once you guys get them to the departure lounge, you can get on your flight to Maui and have an awesome week. We will take care of your kids, and we'll get ready to depart. Julianne, did I miss anything about departure?
No, you did an excellent job.
Oh, thanks. All right, let's talk a little bit about Country Lake. If you have never been there before, it is an incredible atmosphere for middle school students to be middle school students. I played a middle school student today in rock, paper, scissors, beat them, and he proceeded to take his leg and put it behind his head and then jump around on the floor. And I was like, I can't do that. And that's the type of environment that Country Lake is. It's just great for people that are like, well, check this out. We've got a blob. We've got Gaga Ball. We have all these awesome things. Some of you guys even signed up for paintball and high ropes course. And I just can't wait for middle school students to get out there and to go experience God's creation and what Country Lake has to offer. There's a little map right here that you can kind of see. It can be pretty spread out. But again, going all the way back to the beginning, what I love is that we have Country Lake staff there, we have security there, we have our staff there, and we have leaders to help get students in the right direction and go into the right place at the right time. In all of this, I would love to talk through a typical day at camp. And the best way to kick this off, Brock already talked a little bit about it, but is talking about the theme of what we are talking about at camp, and that is being a kingdom worker. And so they are using this year a lot of musical terminology. And if you're like, well, my kid doesn't know how to play any music and can't sing, it's okay. There's still a lot of awesome things. Like one of the games one night, it's going to be like a bop it theme, twist it, bop it. And you don't have to have great musical talent to play that game.
I can play it.
No, I don't have musical talent. I went and I checked out this entire camp. I was like, this is incredible. And so we are talking about how God uses rhythm and all these musical things like an orchestra, and he brings everything together, and it's like a masterpiece. And I just can't wait to get into Ephesians. So if you guys want to know, how do I prep? How can I prep spiritually for my kid being at camp? Open up the book of Ephesians and walk through that. There's also some really incredible resources online, like the Bible Project, that you can go on and you can do a deep dive of Ephesians. I would love for you guys to, over the next 11 days, jump into Ephesians together as a family so that they can go off, learn, and then come back, and then you guys can then follow up. And what is Paul saying as he is writing this book to the church in Ephesus, and how does it apply to middle school students today?
Awesome. Well, as we were talking about how great Country Lake is and how it's a place for kids to be pulled away from their normal and be able to be focused in on what the Lord is saying, one big thing that helps that is you all not allowing them to bring technology. So we have a rule: they cannot bring any smartwatches, any phones, tablets, anything that is technology, because we've seen how distracted it makes them. And we have seen over the last several years how much more focused they are, because they aren't getting no text from mom or dad saying, hey, are you guys having fun? What are you doing right now? How are you doing? Because you guys are so excited they're there and want to check in on them and see how they're doing. They also aren't getting other alerts from friends or social media or different things, and they are able to truly look each other in the face and talk to them. It is a really sweet thing on the last day to watch them writing phone numbers down on their arms like I did as a kid, because they don't want to lose touch with somebody. So we ask that you do not send any electronic devices with them. This is meant to be keeping them safe and undistracted, and any phones that are at camp, we will be taking them. We do offer up a grace night, and they can say, hey, I did sneak this in my bag, I did bring this. After that, we're going to be calling you all to talk about why they brought a device to camp.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious when you are checking them in. You will pass over 70 signs that say no technology.
It's true.
And so that's why we try to make it as obvious as we can.
Well, there's plenty for them to do to not be on their phones. So they will not be bored, I promise. So a typical day at camp looks like they wake up and they go to breakfast. And you're probably like, well, how do they wake up? Well, we have alarm clocks, but the alarm clocks are the leaders. The leaders get to wake them up, and they love doing that. But sometimes, if you've ever seen The Parent Trap, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da is playing throughout the dorm. So get ready for that. But we'll wake them up. They go to breakfast. Food at Country Lake is awesome. They do a great job at accommodating everyone's dietary needs, and so we're just so thankful for our partnership with them. So they go to breakfast, and then we have our morning session, and then they go to morning groups where they get to talk about what they learned in session, and then they go to lunch. And then after lunch, they have free time. And we'll talk more about free time here in a moment. This is a time where they get to just hang out and do different activities around the camp. And then after free time, they're allowed back in the dorms to get ready for dinner. And then they head to dinner. And then after dinner, we do a nighttime session. And then they get to do groups again and get to talk about what they learned. And then we have an evening activity because, they got to get their energy out before they go to bed. So sometimes it's an out-of-realm activity. Sometimes it's just hanging at the snack shack where they're playing basketball, sand volleyball, and that fun stuff. And then they head to the dorms, and then they're tucked away for the night, and they're good boys and girls, and they go to bed right away for us.
That's what all the leaders pray for.
And then we wake them up.
And it happens all over again. So we do that for 4 days. But it's a really great time, and they're just so busy doing all the different things. So what do we offer during free time? Well, the activities that we have we have the lake where there's the blob. There is this jungle gym looking thing out in the middle of the lake. There's a slide, and some kids like to build sandcastles. My nephew went last year, and he was buried in the sand. His head was above the sand. He was not completely buried.
Not fully buried.
And then they can go to the basketball court where there's the snack shack and the sand volleyball courts. We also have adventure zone activities that you pay for prior to camp. And that may include zip line, paintball, archery, axe throwing, and high ropes. I had to remember that other one. Those are activities you already paid for. We cannot add any more at this point because the Country Lake staff has already had to equip the staffing for that camp. So just want to let you all know that right now. We can't add any more activities, but if you've already paid for those will be offered to your students. And so on the last day, we do something a little fun. There is a dodgeball tournament, and we have most people are like, the boys are gonna win. We've had some really strong girl teams show out, and so girls, get your teams together. Let's go.
Real quick on the lake, my dad sinks like a rock, and my mom was a lifeguard, and I'm just like a mixture. And so you might be one of those families of hey, I'm kind of nervous about this. It is a requirement that every single person, whether you're a leader or a student, you wear a life jacket while out on the lake, and that helps keep everyone safe. And so if you're hey, my kid's not the best of swimmers, are they gonna feel weird if they're the only one wearing a life jacket? Everyone wears a life jacket, and so they can go and enjoy that. And so if you need to have that conversation with your student, if they're a little bit nervous about it, just say, oh, don't worry, everyone's got one, and you can go and enjoy yourself.
And there's lifeguards out there ensuring that they're all wearing them.
Yep. And some of the things you said might be my student doesn't like to do that. Well, encourage them to bring games. Encourage the girls to bring bracelet making kits or coloring things. They have time to sit out and do those things together, and it is a great bonding opportunity for those students.
You know what's back in? Hacky sack.
It is.
Hacky sack is back in, and it's this big. What a great thing to pack in your one suitcase.
That's true.
Hacky sack.
It's a good one. So now we're talking about the rules.
Thank you. I was I don't know. I think it's me again. Sorry, guys. Well, we do have rules at camp to keep everyone safe. Most importantly, if we don't have any rules, then no one knows what is expected of them. So we've set the rules to help the students know what we expect of them, and so that you also know what we expect of them. So this is just a good opportunity for us to communicate to you, and we will communicate these to your students, but also for you to communicate to your students. Because we are in a partnership together, and we couldn't do this without you all, because you're the primary disciple makers in your students' lives. So thank you for partnering with us. Thank you for trusting us with your kids this week. So the first rule I'm going to go over is be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. And when we define this rule, this is what it means. No leaving Country Lake. No leaving the dorms after curfew. No guys in girls' dorms. If a guy is caught in a girls' dorm, that's an automatic send home, or a girl is caught in a guy's dorm. We will automatically send the student home. There should be no reason why there is anyone in the opposite gender's dorms. Also is respecting the schedule. So students being at breakfast when they're supposed to be at breakfast, being in session when they're supposed to be in session, being in groups when they're supposed to be there. The boundaries are really clear at Country Lake, and so they know where they're supposed to go and where they're not supposed to go. And so we just need your all's help communicating that. Be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, so that they can follow that well, and that we have no issues at camp.
Along with that, rule number 2 is respecting the people. And so what that means is no fighting, no bullying, respecting the authority of staff and leaders, not bringing weapons, vapes, alcohol, drugs. We expect students to respect by listening to their leaders and the staff, not talking over each other like their peers in group time. We want them to be respectful of others' space, like not be up in their face talking to them, not opening shower curtains and different things. So we expect them to respect the people.
And then last, just respecting the place. That sounded like I said disrespecting the place, but I said just respect the place. And here's how you define that rule. Don't destroy property. It's a place, respect it. And we know that mistakes happen, so we encourage students that if something happens, if something is broken, for them to just say, hey, this accidentally happened. But we will be saying to them, hey, don't climb off of that, don't jump from that, you don't need to throw a rock at that, because we want to respect the
All
place.
things we have said.
Yep. If any of these rules, if any of them are broken, if we experience issues with these, we will be calling you as the primary disciple maker to talk about next steps and to kind of talk through that together. And often, 98.9% of the time, we say, hey, we're going to call your parents, and then they're like, no! And so I know who the primary disciple maker is just by saying that sentence to them. And so we want to be able to walk with you guys as we are addressing those things.
So we've talked a lot about our expectations. In your packet, there is a piece of paper that looks like that. It's got a space on there for your expectations, because as the primary disciple maker, you might have other expectations for them. We would love it if you would go over both with them before camp and then remind them the day of camp, that conversation that you had. I know with my kid, I usually need to say it 3 or 4 times before it sinks in. So please do it before and then go over the day of. We also will have an emergency contact number for you. We don't have it right now, the number. We have to get it updated. So it will be on the dashboard by July 22nd. You should be able to call or text that number, which is especially important since they're not going to have phones and you can't get a hold of them. So in the event of an emergency and you need to get in touch with your child, we will have a way for you to do that. Or if you need to reach out to the staff to talk to us about something, we will have a way for you to get in touch with us.
And before we know it, camp will end, and it'll be time for you to pick up your students, and you'll have to return home from Maui. And so we'll return on Sunday, July 26th, at between 9:30 and 10. So on the dashboard, we'll put that our estimated arrival time. So like I said, you want to have that dashboard saved, because that's where we're going to be communicating so much information. You're going to come back to the Blankenbaker campus. And you're going to grab your students' luggage, and if they have any empty medical containers, you'll grab that. We will send out detailed like where to park, where to come that day, so that you are focused on getting them to departure well, and then that day we'll send an email and we'll send a text, and it will be on the dashboard where you need to go and where you need to come to pick up your student. But it will be here back at the Blanket Baker campus. So.
Our hope is that when you pick them up, that discipleship is not done. That hopefully this is the starting line of great discipleship and what does it look like to walk in godly community. And so after camp, one of the things that we get really excited about is the Sunday after, because we end on Sunday, July 26th. But the next Sunday, we are having Baptism Sunday, and there are a lot of students, and we pray and we sit here expecting the Holy Spirit to move. And so we say, hey, let's have a baptism class. We already put it on the calendar, hoping that students make a decision to give their life to Christ and to enter the waters of baptism. And so that's going to be at, the baptisms will happen at 11:15 a.m. on Sunday, August 2nd, but we will have a baptism class at 9 a.m. here in this building so that parents and leaders and students can all sit down together so that we can talk through this together, because we know that this is a big decision for them in their life. And we want to just say, hey, let's all disciple well together. So that because as you guys are the parents, the grandparents, the aunts, and the uncles that are investing in this student, we don't want you to feel completely separate from this. We want you to be invited into this. And so camp will continue on August 2nd when we are doing this baptism class. If a kid is like, I don't even know if I want to get baptized, you guys can still come to that class. Just because someone attends the class does not mean they are getting baptized. But it is very helpful that if someone has questions about baptism, that they attend this class together with their leaders and their parents. And then you can see on August 16th, which was 2 weeks after that, we are launching back into our fall programming for middle school ministry. We have been meeting every Sunday during the summer, but we launch and get more intentional with group time starting in August, and so August 16th. If you have questions about MSM, if you want more updates, you can text MSM to 733-733. And then there's even on our dashboard, that's on there, the Instagram's on there.
If in doubt, it's on the dashboard.
Yep.
So going along with setting you guys up well because you all are discipling your kids, we have a folder, or in the folder, we have a packet, a paper, wow. We have a paper that says conversation kit on there, and that is for after camp because we know that you all weren't at camp. You didn't hear all the messages and the group time and the conversations, but we want to help you get your kid to talk to you more about what they experienced at camp and just open up that door for conversation. I do encourage you, let them sleep a lot first before you just try to go down this list of questions because you're probably just going to get some grunts if you do that night. But after they've slept, here's some good questions that you can ask them, hopefully to get more than a good or fine, and really get them talking so you guys can actually hear about their experience at camp and what God was doing in their life.
So if you're a parent and you love to volunteer and you have a servant's heart, I would love your help. We
all would.
need departure day volunteers to help students check in, load luggage, maybe drive a box truck, be just directing parents and families where they need to go.
Herd cattle.
Yep, or herd cattle. That's what Isaac
Isaac.
said, not what I said. Well, I would love your help. So if you are interested in helping, please feel free to scan that QR code, and that has the times that if you are available, that you can sign up to help. So I would appreciate your help if you are willing and able.
Now, is that one on the dashboard?
That one's not on the dashboard.
Okay,
I might put it
really
on the
scan
dashboard.
this one. It's not on the dashboard right now.
I don't know. It may be going to the dashboard. It will.
Okay.
Do I need to move again?
No. I'm going to put up the next slide, and then I'm going to go back to this as we do this part. One of the main things that we really, really, really want is for you guys as parents to connect with the people that will be with your students for these 4 days. And so this is why all leaders here have a sign that you can match up on your folder you can look right underneath the student's name. It says BB and then 2 numbers. If we can have all of our leaders, especially the ones with the signs, stand up and hold the sign up while all the students and parents are still seated. We would love for you guys to come, introduce yourself. Maybe you have something that you want to share about your student of, hey, at night they have a hard time falling asleep, or dietary things, or can you please be praying for this? And so, wait, real fast. Let's not move yet. Let's not move yet. Wait, real fast, because I want to pray over these leaders, so shh. Sorry, thanks, guys. I would love for you to move, and we're going to give everyone about 10 minutes, but this is the time that, one, I do want us to give more than 2 claps for these leaders that are taking off of work, that are setting aside their own time. We cannot do camp without them, and they are going to be intentionally investing in your students. So can you just give it up for them and just say thanks? Thank you guys for being here. And then number 2, I would love to pray over you guys as parents, them as leaders, and then our students.
Also, after this 10 minutes, we're going to be out there, parents, to answer questions. Also, we'll have one of our nurses out there. So Julianne, me, and one of our nurses will be out by the fireplace for any questions, so don't take off. Okay, now you can go.
Okay, let me pray. God, thank you so much for who you are. I pray, God, I pray for the students. I pray for them that you are preparing their hearts right now. I firmly believe, God, that you have created them right now as a masterpiece. Not that they will one day be a masterpiece, but God, that you see them as they are created right now. And God, I hope that as they are walking into this week of camp, that they are not sitting there going, well, maybe Jesus died for the person that I hope to be, but that they can leave there going, I know that Jesus died for me and who I am in this moment. And so, God, I pray that you can start working on these students' lives right now and soften their heart so that you can mold them to be kingdom workers. God, I pray for the parents that are in here, for the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the foster parents, the people that are saying, I just care about this kid. God, can you help them just let go a little bit of some control? I know for me and my kids, I want to dictate the future for them. God, can we just right now put our hope and faith in you and say, God, as much as we care about them, we know that you care so much more. So can you give us that peace? Can you allow us as parents and leaders to just to come in and trust in you and the guidance of the Holy Spirit? God, I pray that these parents have a peaceful time while their student is away. God, I pray for the leaders that have given up their time to come and to lead. God, can you give them good health over the next few days as they are preparing for camp? God, can you give them wisdom on how to share the gospel well, on how to address struggles and things that students are walking through? God, can you give them so much energy? And not energy that is beyond how you have originally created them, but just energy to just keep up with the student that you are calling them to love on. God, I pray that all of us in here can take another step closer to you, that we can walk just with our eyes focused on Jesus. I thank you for camp. I just pray that this is an amazing week that glorifies your name. We pray this because of Jesus, and everyone said, amen.